Ethical violations happen every day, both on individual level and on corporate level. Let me just show you a few examples. So when we are talking about the individual ethical violation, the following 6 are the biggest ethical problems in business. So let's start with the first one, discrimination. Discrimination is something that occurs very often in many businesses where employees get treated differently. They receive unequal treatment on the basis of their age, gender, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. As a result, they can receive lower income, poorer work conditions, and fewer promotion opportunities. Discrimination is very much connected with the second one, which is harassment, which means that employees can get excluded at workplace and even mobbed. And this can have very serious long-term consequences, both psychological and work-related. The cause of discrimination and harassment can be nepotism and favoritism, and I want to explain you the difference between those two terms. So, nepotism occurs when companies hire people just because they are a family member, and the second one, favoritism, means that managers prefer some employees other than other employees based on their personal preferences. Unethical accounting is something that companies do when they want to appear more or less profitable than they actually are. In fact, in order to be more profitable, companies often cut on human resources, which can have very serious health and safety issues, such as different illnesses, stress related to work, and other psychological risks. And finally, privacy breach. This is something that is very important to us nowadays because we all live in a very globalized and digitalized world. And this actually means that our employers can monitor everything that we do online. Of course, if we use our business laptop, computers, and cell phones. Actually, this means that they can read all our emails and messages, and they can even control or punish us for the things that we post online on social media. So the big question is, where do we draw the line between monitoring and spying? When we talk about the corporate level of ethical violations, I made a list of the 5, let's say, most known ethical corporate scandals, so violations caused by their CEOs or company leaders. I'm sure that many of you have heard about the big fall of companies such as Enron and WorldCom. So their leaders, their CEOs, not only bankrupted their companies, but also they got arrested and they were sentenced for fraud. So if we want to avoid ethical violations, both on individual and corporate level, it is very important that we incorporate ethical behaviors and ethical standards on every level within the company. In other words, an ethical company begins with ethical leadership and then continues into the company's code of ethics. I'm very happy to say that in the last 10 or 15 years, there has been a huge paradigm shift in the field of leadership when many ethical leadership theories emerged. The most popular one, the most researched one, is authentic leadership. Authentic leadership is an ethical leadership theory that emerged from the United States 15 years ago, and it is actually formed on the basis of 3 different disciplines. The first one is ethics, the second one is positive psychology, and the third one is positive organizational behavior. Therefore, what's an authentic leader? Authentic leader has 3 main characteristics. The first one, authentic leader has very high moral standards. The second one, authentic leader is very much self-aware, which means that he knows who he is, he understands himself, and most importantly, he accepts himself for what he is. And the third characteristic of an authentic leader is that he has very high psychological capital. This is a new term in positive organizational behavior. Psychological capital is a positive psychological state that is comprised of 4 capabilities, which are hope, optimism, resilience, and self-esteem. efficacy. So, authentic leadership is something that many big corporations implemented into their business, big corporations such as Google, Starbucks, etc. But many other companies that are listed in the Forbes magazine annual 100 best companies to work for. As a result, these companies reported many positive and good things, which are, first of all, an increase in profit and sales. This, for some people, this can be very surprisingly, but actually they reported an increase of up to 40% increase in sales and profit. Then increase of job satisfaction with employees and increase of supervisor satisfaction. What else is very important as positive consequences is positive and safe environment, psychological support, and ethical climate within the company. And finally, something that is very important for every authentic leader, we have personal and professional growth and development of employees. Authentic leadership is something that every organization can implement in their business, regardless of the industry and of the company's size. Thank you very much.